Imagine with me for a moment, friends. We are someone who has been afflicted with a condition, and a bloody one too. We are someone who has been long kept from being fully allowed and able to fully participate in society. We have been marginalized, ostracized for whatever our condition is, and kept indoors for 12 years. People come in, day out to investigate, examine, and study us, poking and prodding, but none can explain it, and none can heal us. So we're to endure the pain, endure being on the margins, endure being outcasts, because really, there's nothing anyone can seem to do about it. Then one day, we discover Jesus is going to be in town. The Jesus we've heard has been pulling off some incredible miracles of healing, teaching about this new kingdom of equity, directly coming up against the predominant religious teachings at the time that did marginalize us, ostracize us. The Jesus who we've come to believe and trust and have faith will be able to explain it, will be able to heal us. That Jesus is coming into town. But what can we do? Our condition does not allow us to freely walk about town, to be able to safely walk deep into the crowds. It does not allow us to blend in. But we have to do something about it. And so we craft a plan, some way to get nearer to Jesus, some way to sneak into this crowd, because if we can touch even just his cloak, we know, we believe, it'll be better than our current situation. And so we do. In our bloodied and damaged condition, we maneuver through the crowd, likely in between people's legs, being shoved left and right, using all of our might just to look over the crowd to make sure we're heading in the right direction. Until we make it to Jesus. And even there, we can barely just reach his cloak, but we do, and we touch it. And from that moment, we're healed. And we can take this deep sigh of relief. But of course, Jesus notices and he whips around. And from what we know and from what we're used to, we think we can't be relieved. And so we approach Jesus in this fear and trembling, confessing what we've done, confessing that we've touched Jesus' cloak with faith that he would heal us. And Jesus tells us, "Daughter, you have been healed." The woman in Mark chapter 5, verse 24 to 34 demonstrates a kind of impressive faith that I think we can only hope to model in our lives. Because not only does her craftiness in navigating the bustling and large crowd to blend in and accomplish her goal resemble what it's like for many people of color to navigate within a predominantly white society, she also recognizes something that the hundreds, thousands of people pressing upon Jesus seem to not recognize as clearly. It is not just about being as near to Jesus as possible. It is about knowing what exactly it is we're drawing near to. Everyone in the crowd wanted to be near Jesus. But to him, it mattered little how large the crowd was, because crowds will gather over a wide variety of things. John's baptisms would gather crowds, the hope of catching one of Jesus' miracles or lectures, or maybe even sporting events, parades, shopping centers, musicians. Crowds will gather. But for this woman, she is determined to draw nearer to Jesus, not because she simply wants to witness one of these events, nor because she simply feels compelled to participate in the cultural events. She is determined to draw near to Jesus because her faith is in the Jesus who has claimed to come for someone exactly like her. For the marginalized, for the sick, for the hurting, for the voiceless. She believes and trusts so firmly that not only would she not be denied by Jesus, but that she is exactly who Jesus has come to restore the kingdom for. This woman and Jesus can be both a model and teacher for each of us. They reveal to us exactly what this Lenten season is about. This journeying towards the restoration of the kingdom of heaven and earth, fulfilled through and exemplified by Jesus Christ. And the faithful navigation through the treacherous crowds of predominant and harmful theologies towards the loving and restorative Jesus, so that we too can be restored and be restoring. And in this woman, I'm reminded of a quote by Dolores Williams, a womanist theoethicist, who wrote, "Faith has taught me to see the miraculous in everyday life. the miracle of ordinary black women resisting and rising against evil forces in society. The woman in Mark is the living out of the miraculous in everyday life, resisting and rising up against the evil religious forces at the time. And with the miraculous faith that this resistance, that this rising up against evil to Jesus is just and restorative. So how might she become a model for you and us in our day-to-day faith lives? What is it that we're pursuing? What is it that we are drawing near to? I want to end us with this prayer. God, we want to draw near to who you are. And drawing near to you means an opening of our eyes and minds to see and know who you are and what you sent your Son to do. During this season, allow us to sit in the bustle of the crowd, praying for a clear path towards you. Amen, friends, and blessings.